most of the students at Imperial, the library is like our second home.
Yes, 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 Imperial baby, we're back stronger than ever. Right.
Big C made a banger.
What's popping? So right behind me now we have the central library. This is where I get to all my studying, make sure I'm fueling that brain so I can become a sick doctor, treating the patients nicely, fueling the knowledge how I try and become top of the year, with my academic gains and that. So that all happens in the central library right there. So I'll take you through a little tour of that, show you what I get up to in there, how I fuel that brain for those exams and for those future careers as a doctor. So the Central Library was actually opened up in 1969 alongside the adjacent college building known as the Sherfield Building. Now, from an architectural design point of view, the building uses extensively exposed concrete surfaces, as that was common with the British architecture at that time. So the Central Library is the largest of the 7 libraries that Imperial has to offer, situated on Queen's Law and across from the infamous Queen's Tower. Let's see if we can get there. Little Imperial Tower, baby. Okay, let's go in. So as soon as you enter the library, right on your left side you have the amazing library cafe. Now this is a great place if you want to pick up a little coffee, maybe a little blueberry muffin, try and kickstart your study sessions, or maybe you've had a few hours in the library, you're tired, you're a bit hungry. You can just have a little refreshment break, maybe relax with a couple of your mates in the sort of group seating areas that are there. Now the food that the library cafe has to offer quite varied and great. You've got a few pastries, you've got some hot meals, and you've got like your paninis, some crisps, Kit Kats, etc. So very, very good variety. On each day of the week they tend to have a sort of different cuisine. So now I'm just going to flash to one of my mates who's talking about the African cuisine that they have in the library cafe.
Our campus is in South Kensington, and sometimes when I get hungry at like 12, I just need good food. And the library cafe has got your back. They have some African food, and I'm from Ghana, by the way, so I love it. And it's in this kind of, it's a machine, you take out the food, you have to put it in the oven, microwave, and then it will come out hot. And hey, that one is so delicious. I would definitely recommend you to try that in the canteen.
Food in our bellies, caffeine in the system, we're ready to hit the books. We breeze past security with our temperature checks and hand sand, and then we arrive at the Wolfson Center, which I like to call the IT suite. Now this has the highest concentration of computers in the entire library. There are obviously computers on other floors, however this is where the majority of the computers lie. Now one of my favourite parts that we're coming up to is the sofas. This is because you've had a hard day studying, maybe your back, neck, shoulders are a bit stiff, your lats are tired. You can have a little sit down and relax on the sofas looking out with a nice lovely view. Okay, so now we're leaving the Wolfson Center. Right in front of us we have a self-service station where you can check in and out books by your own leisure. We have some printers and my personal favourite, the elevators, as I like to save my energy for studying. Don't like to take the stairs. Now into what I like to call the group study area of the library. This is the one area of the library where group study is not only allowed but it's encouraged. And in the trade we like to call this a mobile workstation setup, so you can move the tables, you can move the chairs to treat how you like. And this is probably the best area for group study. My personal favourites are these sort of C-shaped pods that you can see sort of dispersed in and about the room. This makes for really great and productive study sessions. Also, another great thing with that C-shaped pods is that it sort of contains the noise, which is very useful. Highly recommend studying there. Now onto my personal favourite, what I like to call the steel cage.
What the hell is this?
this is the steel cage. We have computer, tables, chairs, and of course the whiteboard. Now these are actually called productivity pods, but I like to call it the steel cage. And now we're just walking into a sort of more enclosed private space. You can book these rooms and it's very, very useful once again. Right guys, so yeah, technically I'm meant to be a bit silent, but we're here in the library. And this is another one of these like private spaces that you can sort of book out. Maybe, you know, pre and post corona, you guys can sort of come together in groups, do a bit of group study, chat some stuff on the whiteboard there. You know, if you're physics or whatever, or you want to do some biology, chemistry, medicine, the whiteboard there is really good for that. And yeah, computer as well. A lot of computers in this. So yeah, let's keep going. That's right. Alright, so we're in the elevator right now. We're trying to go to the 5th floor, which is one of my favourite floors for studying, really getting that work done. Hopefully no one comes in because that's going to be a bit weird for them seeing this. But yeah, I'll try and show you the 5th floor. It's my personal favourite. So we're starting off at the 5th floor, which is probably my favourite floor to study on currently. The reason being is it's very sort of modern. It's an open plan with a glass exterior. Now the reason why it's so modern and different to the other floors of the library is because the top 2 floors, so the 4th and 5th floors, are a new modern addition. The library was renovated in 1997, where 2 additional modern glass-clad floors were added to the top of the building. And this extension was actually designed by a pair called John McAsian and Partners. So very, very modern design, designed by cutting-edge architects. And I just love the whole feel of the top 2 floors. It's a completely different vibe, in my opinion, to the rest of the library. And, you know, working in a nice, clean, modern environment, it really gets my creative academic juices flowing so I can really smash a productive study session. So now, as you can see from the layout, the way that the 5th floor is designed is that you tend to have individual pods where you have a chair and maybe some computers in some of the pods. I find this really, really great because it means that you can be surrounded by like-minded people, your friends or whatever. However, you don't get easily distracted. You're not distracted in your peripheral vision. You can really get a lot of work done and in your zone. Now, if we look at an individual pod here, we have a very, very comfortable chair, very easy on the back and adjustable. You have electronic sockets so that your battery never runs out. No need for power banks. And I love these glass windows, full floor-to-ceiling windows. Lets loads and loads of light through. And now let's move on to the 4th floor. Now the 4th floor, very similar to the 5th floor. However, this tends to be a little more less isolated in the fact that you don't have those side barriers. So this is a great floor for working with some friends. Again, a very, very nice modern floor, again with these floor-to-ceiling windows. Now onto the 3rd floor.
Closing.
You've got to be proper silent there, so can't be bringing that banter that you guys are all so used to. But yeah, floor 3 right now, let's see what that's saying. The 3rd floor used to be my favourite floor that I used to study in. All of first year I used to go to the 3rd floor, and that's because when I was in first year they hadn't done this renovation. So I used to have a really, really nice window that I would go to, and I would see the sun rise at about 5:30 a.m. as I'm an early riser, rise and grind, as they say, and I would get lots and lots of work done. But here, as you can see, they've tried to, you know, renovate the library, update the interior decor, which is now more of an amalgamation of the 4th and 5th floors, however with a new blue colour scheme as opposed to the green, which is a bit controversial. Let me know what you think in the comments. And here, my personal favourite on this is the standing desks, which is very, very useful. I personally don't like to stand when I study, but that is an option. And now we're exiting the library after a hard study session, as we always do. We leave it all out there in the library, and we finally exit that library. We see those beautiful doors that they open, and you know you've accomplished something. Big things, big success, and we've done it. Right, that brings the library tour to a wrap. Man, it's hot in there. But yeah, that's what we do for you guys. We get you the grade A content. I believe this is a YouTube exclusive. Never before has there been an insight into the Central Library, the most notorious library here in South Kensington. So that's a YouTube first, and like, subscribe.